Hi, this is a quick tip video for exporting a mesh from Blender to Unreal using the FBX format. In my case, I've got this debug mesh that I've created that is denoting the X, Y, and Z, and negative Y being my forward axis. And this is using vertex color so that we're just dealing with mesh in this case. So the first thing to note is if you have any offset from world origin, this will be the offset when you export and import into Unreal. So make sure that whatever you want your pivot point to be for your mesh is at world origin. So for instance, if I have this offset over here, I'm going to have this offset once I import it into Unreal. So I'm just going to make sure that this is at the world origin. And another thing to note is if you have vertex color, you just want to make sure that your color attribute is set to face corner as opposed to vertex for the FBX format to export it properly and import it. Otherwise, that data will get lost and it can be rather confusing. So without further ado, we'll do File, Export, FBX Export, and I'm just going to reset these defaults. And by default, we've got our forward axis as negative Z forward and Y up. These are the FBX defaults, so it's going to convert your scene from negative Y forward to negative Z forward and flip some of those axes. And on import, we can use convert axis or convert scene to flip that back, but I'm just going to set this to Y forward so that the axes line up right out of the gate, so we're not doing any additional flipping. I'm going to turn off bake animation, and geometry and armature are going to stay the same, and I'm just going to select objects so that I'm only exporting my one mesh. And test debug is what I'm going to export. So click export, we go over to Unreal, and in my content browser I'm going to hit import. I'm going to do test debug, and I'll restore these defaults as well. So if you are importing anything with vertex color, you're going to want to make sure that you select replace for your vertex color import option. Otherwise, your vertex color won't come in. And then in our case, since we've already converted our scene to the correct axis, we're going to uncheck convert scene. And for me, I'm going to turn off these materials and import textures because I do that separately for my workflow. So I'm going to click import, and we've got our test access right here. I'm going to open this up so that we can see what we're doing, and I've created a debug vertex color material that I'm just going to pop on here to see what we're looking at. So if you see here, we've got our X, Y, and Z axis pointing in the axes that I would expect, and if we drop this into world next to Quinn, you can also see that we are looking forward in the same direction. So I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great day.